Welcome to the Full Circle Show. The Full Circle Show is the Artist Podcast. Every week, we bring on artists who share their journeys within their creative field in hopes to inspire, inform, and entertain you, the listener. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Welcome back. Another episode of the Full Circle Show. I have a weird mic setup right here. This is going to be a continuation for part 2, or solo episode number 2, episode 20 or 21, I'm not sure yet. Same takeaways. One of the takeaways from this book right here: show your work. Second one, think process, not product. I don't have a script for this one like last time. This one's just kind of going off the dome. So yeah, think process, not product. We're going to go over two quotes, or not two quotes. We're going to go over the second one, think process, not product. And let's see what I highlighted and bracketed, and we'll kind of talk about it. Wow, did I even highlight? Okay. Oh, you know what? I'm actually going to read this one because right below is another quote where a good friend of mine, Mike Niddle, he brings up Brené Brown a lot, and this caught my eye. So I'm going to read both of them and we'll kind of reflect on it a little bit. Audiences not only want to stumble across great work, but they too long to be creative and part of the creative process. By letting go of our egos and sharing our process, we allow for the possibility of people having an ongoing connection with us and our work, which helps us move more of the product or service. And then the Brené Brown quote right underneath it: in order for connection to happen, we have to allow ourselves to be seen, really seen. And if you remember back to the first episode, the first solo episode, one of the main things was, as artists, making sure that we're able to be found, and you can have a great service, you can have a great product. And these are all my thoughts. Let me know what you think. DM me, reach out to me. Love to talk about it. If there's a better way, if I'm maybe getting a little bit twisted, let me know. But that's one of the main things, like getting to people to know about your product or service, but making sure that you're telling the people who could get some value out of it and whose lives it would improve. I think that's the main goal, making sure that you're found and that the audience and the people that you're reaching are relevant and could use your product, and they're the type of people that it helps and that it's a right fit, instead of forcing your fucking service or product down everybody's throats. That shit, I don't see working, maybe short term, but I guess long term, I don't see that working a lot. That's just me. Could be totally wrong though. But yeah, I mean, back to the quote, I'm watching two things. I just saw, if you guys remember Logic, he was a rapper. He still raps, but I think he hasn't rapped in a while. He just signed I think 13 or 14-year-old producer to his label. Like, that's crazy. And I checked out the kid's stuff, and he had a couple stuff on YouTube and on Instagram, but like nothing super crazy where it was a lot of work. He's a producer, he's making beats. And yeah, I mean, Logic was talking about how the guy was just interacting with him on Twitter, and Logic just checked out his stuff. He just went to go check out his stuff, and he saw that he had beats there and that he was making music and everything. And he's like, yo, like, do you make this shit? Is this yours? Like, did you make it? And the kid said, yeah. And, lo and behold, I don't know, maybe a year or 6 months later, the kid got fucking signed. And, that's just from putting stuff out on the internet. I swear, I think he only had like 15 songs on YouTube, right? It wasn't like he was putting out hella music. He probably was making hella beats, like behind the scenes, like for sure, right? You just don't get that good. Right off the bat, you know, you got to get familiar with the program. Same with like video editing and photo editing. You got to get familiar with the programs and, you know, like building your taste and what you like and how to achieve that consistently over and over again, and, you know, how to improve that or switch it up, get the fundamentals right. But he only had 15 beats on YouTube, and on his Instagram, I mean, he was kind of sharing some stuff about producing, but it wasn't anything super crazy. Right. But, you know, just because of him interacting with Logic on Twitter and Logic just tapping on his profile, maybe like a YouTube link was on his Twitter, you know, like it just fucking works that way. You just don't know. The internet and social media is crazy. You've heard it a lot on the show. Just a lot of people just say, just DM people. Like you just don't know. You know, sometimes you DM people and you're like, okay, like you're in it for yourself, but at least in my experience, I'm not sure in previous guest experience, you know, how it went for them. It's always come from, how can I help you? Or like, I want to do this for free. Like, not, like, you know, if you're messaging someone who you really admire, you really want to work with, right? It comes from that intention first. And I think the dopest opportunities come from that sometimes. I'm not saying do everything for free, but a big thing and that I've noticed in relationships is, you know, can the relationship and the partnership transcend the money? And by that, I don't mean not getting paid, but if you can start off the relationship on how can I help you? And I just want to make dope shit for you that's going to, you know, market or help your brand out without expecting anything, then like, yeah, it works out. We vibe as people and you fuck with the work. And I feel like I'm able to help you out. Then, you know, you can talk about the money after, but yeah, you just put shit out there, you DM people, and I don't know, it just fucking happens. Like, it happens. I'm not saying like a specific moment where it's like everything just fucking changes, but I don't know. It's trippy sometimes. It's really trippy. You just never know who's watching or who's interacting with your stuff and everything. So just put stuff out there, share what you do, make it about the other person, provide value, entertain, share your process, just document. Fuck, you just don't know. You just don't know. All right, let's go to another one. It's a quoted quote. No one's going to give a damn about your resume. They want to see you. They want to see what you have made with your own little fingers. And that's true. Just the repetition, getting the fundamentals down, and then incorporating your creativity on top of that. And you know, what can you make from that? I'm not saying this shit to brag. It was just kind of a trip. It was, we were filming a documentary, and I was working with an audio engineer. I mean, I don't know the technical term really. There's a sound guy. Shout out Greg. That he was a professor at, I think, Berkeley or San Francisco State or something like that. And it just tripped me out that early on I was able to work on a project with him, and that by repetition and working on a craft and working on just getting better and repeating that I was able to contribute something to this project where it was a bunch of professionals and respected professionals and experienced professionals within their field, so much so that they were even a professor at a university. Like, that just tripped me out. And it goes to show that you get the repetitions in, you practice, you make stuff, whatever that may be in whatever field you're doing. Like, you're going to get good. And if you share that progress, I always say, you know, always try to entertain, inform, or inspire. And I'm just kind of unlocking this right now. I'm making the connection myself. By you sharing and documenting your process, I mean, you're either informing and entertaining, but I think in the long run, you're inspiring, because people who watch your work see it develop and grow And that itself is inspiring. That itself is a brand that provides value and value in the form of inspiration in the bigger picture. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. We'll do one more. Screenshot this if you're watching video. And if not, I'm gonna go over it. But this really did change a lot. Let's see if it focus. And it's basically a whole list of things that you could share. I'm gonna read through it real quick, and we'll get through it. It's just a list: research, references, drawings, plans, sketches, interviews, audio, photographs, video, pin boards, journals, drafts, prototypes, demos, diagrams, notes, inspiration, scrapbooks, stories, and collection. Boom. I didn't know what the fuck to post on Instagram. And then when I saw that list, I was like, oh, shit. There's a lot of stuff that I can fucking post, really. And, yeah, I was talking with the homie Richie the other day. I'm like, I want, from this moment on, like forward, I want to make sure that every time I post something that it has value and it either entertains, informs, or inspires someone, whether that be with the photo, video, audio, the caption, I don't know, just making that a thing, and also just documenting, because like I said, in the grand scheme of things, that's a brand and people are along for the ride, and they might fuck with your story, and they see the progress, and that inspires them for them to start their own thing. But yeah, I just wanted to do this shit. Super random. Like I said, I didn't have a script. If you enjoyed this episode, if you don't mind sharing it with a friend, I'd really appreciate that. Other than that, I'm going to catch you guys later. Peace.